cult classic Cage. Full disclosure, I have not watched this video yet. And she said, addressing the nonsense beef and putting it behind me because I'm not a clout chasing gremlin. I will continue to publicly disclose any creepy ass behavior on Alyssa's part. But other than that, I really have no interest in wasting my time on this pathetic, self-destructive person. And again, I've not watched this, so let's see.
Yo, what is good, everyone? Real quick, I just want to discuss this whole Alyssa Mercante situation because I'm not going to continue this nonsense. I'm just gonna say what I say, and after that, it's all over with. And by the way, yeah, I'm back in my apparently rent-a-car, my Cadillac rent-a-car, the same one, mind you. According to some retards on the internet, but Alyssa is living in her own hell due to her own actions, and she has said herself that, um, you know, freedom of speech does not alleviate you from the consequences that may come, and she is the living embodiment of essentially that. Social justice, in fact, took place. So people like her brag about, are all about social justice. Well, social justice took place against her, and she is living in her own social hellhole, and there is no winning for her. That's why I have no interest in engaging in any real beef here. There is no beef between us. I don't really talk about Alyssa Mercante. I don't really give a fuck about her. Do I, do I answer back in some situations? Of course. The only reason why I even bothered to even screenshot what she said, because one, she purposely included me in the Rumble super chat on Hypnotic's live stream because
that's another thing, by the way. I'm kind of letting Cassie cook here, but I have noticed that Alyssa is including groups of people now. When I went to Game On Expo, trying to just kick up dirt everywhere, I found that fascinating. I'm like, because nobody's talking about you, you need to start coming at people again. Oh, they're not talking about you, so you need to talk about reporting channels and potentially getting them taken down. And then subsequently, channels coincidentally are being striked and being taken down. I mean, are they connected? Possibly. She tries to take no accountability for that, tries to claim that it is not her. But at the same time, on multiple occasions has claimed to want to silence people, take them down. So, I mean, it is up to interpretation, which is the way she likes it, because she wants to be able to throw stones and then cry when people throw stones back at her, because that's how she works.
I am a Saturday Night Hypnosis weekly panelist, and so she wants to kind of just drag us all in the mud. Out of revenge. There's no winning for her in a situation. She just knows that her life is fucked.
Oh yeah, and for those that don't know, this is Cassie. She's on Saturday Night Hypnosis with us. She's cool as shit. I get into sometimes disagreements with her on things, but she is very steadfast in her standpoints, and I can respect that and appreciate that. I don't necessarily always agree with what her takes are, but she also doesn't agree with my takes, but I can appreciate them. And I think that's important for people to still have that. What the other side doesn't ever do, where they just, if you don't agree with everything, you're out of the cult. This, at least we leave room for, we have different takes on things. That's okay. That's not a bad thing.
Fucked up that she did this to herself, and she just takes pleasure in perhaps trying to make everyone else's lives hell, even though really there's nothing that she could do in order to win in this situation. Right. So there's that. But I only chose to even screenshot and post that, purposely not including her name, purposely not, adding her, all to see if she in fact stalks me, which she confirmed that she does. She does in fact keep track of my social media. She just recently gave away on TikTok that she viewed my profile. I have proof of all of this.
What? Why? Like, is she going to use the excuse of, oh, I need research for my lawsuit, and because she's on Saturday Night Hypnosis with Smash JT, then I need to start stalking her profiles and her social medias and see everything she does to see if there's anything with Smash on those? Like, sure, but at what point do you consider it that Alyssa is the one that's the one stalking everybody? Because it's getting a little bit creepy here. And by a little bit, I mean a lot.
Posted. But that was essentially just bait to see, just to get a feel of, does this woman really like stalk my social media? And she does, because she's weird, because she's looking for anything to, essentially attack me over, or just start a beef to get her little social media following to um attack me. And it's like, I don't really care about that. I just want Alyssa to know that I'm not really going to engage in this beef. My time is more valuable than yours. This is low hanging fruit. I don't really talk about you on my YouTube. I don't really talk about you even on Saturday Night Hypnosis. Yeah, I'm the least, like, you would have less beef with me than anybody else that you've engaged with thus far, because I don't really give you the time of day. And I won't really give you any more attention, specifically because you are living.
By the way, Alyssa lives for this. She lives for this. When there's someone that's like, I'm not going to give you attention, but literally this is a 9 minute and 22-second video giving attention to Alyssa. Like, this is what gives her life. And someone saying, I'm not going to pay attention to you for 10 minutes. It's like, you're literally doing that though. This is how she thinks.
In your own hell.
Allegedly.
You've put yourself in this situation, and you are living through the consequences of your own actions on the internet. And that's enough for me. I don't need anything like for me to try and get anything else out of this situation would just be me being selfish, me trying to get something, extra. I don't need anything from you. I promise you that. You need something from me. You need relevancy, you need attention. You need to try and enact.
You notice when I go out of town and Alyssa starts going after everybody else, it's not about, oh, she's being harassed. It's like, this is a clear cut and dry indication of, no, she needs relevance. And she realizes that I give her relevance. And when I'm gone, because I'm not covering the stupid shit she's saying about me, she starts going after other people. Okay. And that's not even allegedly. That's like, she's tagging them. She's talking about them on X constantly when I'm not around anymore. It's not a coincidence. This is now a pattern that has been established.
Your little revenge plot on everybody that has ever said anything bad about you, but that doesn't help you. I highly recommend.
And, oh, by the way, this is the other thing. Alyssa loves the idea that if she puts a lawsuit on someone, she can muzzle them. And she thinks that, oh, now every time Smash says something, we have an active lawsuit. He's talking about me with this active lawsuit. That's not going to silence me. I've said that from day one. Like, you can't just sue someone and hope that they don't talk about you attacking them or harassing them. That's not how this works.
Recommend that you actually get your fucking life together. Get off of social media.
Yes.
Get off of.
Yes, which, by the way, Alyssa has admitted that she saw a therapist or a psychologist or I can't remember exactly who it was, but she saw someone that told her that she needed to limit her social media access and actually had a schedule for what she was allowed to use with their social media, which, by the way, I think was a very good thing. Clearly, that schedule is not being followed. And if it is, it's been changed dynamically to a point where she is not being affected anymore. And I feel like she's the type of person where social media is a terrible thing for her mentally. I feel like it's really affecting her in a bad way, in my unprofessional opinion.
Twitter. You said that you were, you go to Blue Sky, but you still end up on Twitter either way. You still think that somehow this lawsuit thing with Smash JT is going to work? This is yet another situation in which you are just grasping at straws. You cannot take accountability for your own actions, and you're doing everything to try and get some sort of.
You know what really scares me? It's not the lawsuit. It's what happens after she fails in the lawsuit. What's the next step? Because these people don't ever stop. They don't. The lawsuit is not what concerns me.
Some sort of really lame W in an entire after L after L after L. It's just silly at this point. And it's just interesting to see how you went about this and how you've changed over time, because when you started in this little whole beef situation, you tried to act all tough and shit. You were just like, fight me, bitch. Stuff like that. And when people like Vera Dark challenged you, or Jade, I forget her YouTube handle, but shout out to Jade, who is ex-military, very accomplished.
MMA fighter.
You've
Yeah.
proven
Or
in
boxer.
that moment to me personally, when I viewed that at best you are a bitch made Long Islander. You tout that you're from Brooklyn. You definitely don't come from where my family comes from. All right, you don't fuck around in Cypress Hills. If anything, you probably hang out in a Jewish neighborhood in Brooklyn. And which is ironic because according to David Jaffe, you hate the Jews, right? Which wouldn't surprise me at all given the type of people you associate with being Hassan Piker, but or that you want to.
Now imagine if I was saying these things. She'd be piling this on the lawsuit. Other people say, nah, it's fine. Think about that too. Because she uses the lawsuit to silence people.
Associate with, but they don't pay you any mind, really. But yeah, you live in a nice little protected neighborhood in Brooklyn. You tout that you come from Brooklyn. You fucking worked out a little bit, and you thought, oh, I'm looking good, bro. I can fight people in real life, bro. Let me fucking be out here acting all tough on camera and have that go on social media, wearing my little 70s shades, acting like I'm tough guy. And you're just like, fight me. Vera challenged you. Jade challenged you. And you ran away. And you tried to go about this whole situation acting tough, kayfabe, tough girl act and whatnot. And you've shown to me that you have no street smarts at all, that you are not even remotely intelligent, that you've been protected all of your life. That has been extremely clear in that moment. And you tried to have that kayfabe face on for a while, and it didn't help you at all. In fact, it hurt you.
And Cassie is fucking cooking in this video. It took like a minute or two to get started, but damn.
Your own actions hurt you so bad, and it devolved into you now becoming a whole victim. You have to cry about being self-victimized. You have to use that to try and attack people, to get your following to attack people, to try and grow your following. I'm not playing into it, I'm just saying what I'm saying. This isn't even malice towards you. I just know what the fuck you want, and that's gonna bother you, obviously, because you want that attention. And you're going to look at this and be very upset, I'm sure, because, oh man, she's calling me out. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I have no interest in engaging with you anymore. So whatever happens, right? Your beef is with Smash JT and your lawsuit. Concentrate on that. You just expose yourself all the time, and it's going to be funny when you lose.
I mean, Cassie says concentrate on that. I'm like, I would argue she needs to not concentrate on that. She needs to concentrate on dropping that because she has no case against me. And again, I think she thinks like I'm afraid of her, which is why I keep saying drop the case, Alyssa. It's like I'm not afraid at all about that. In fact, if anything, I think she should understand the ramifications for continuing this and what could potentially happen to her. I mean, this is an equal thing. It's not like, oh, just because you sue me, I'm the only one that could lose something here. It goes both ways. There's this thing called slap laws for a reason. And what you're doing to me, Alyssa, in my humble opinion, falls under that. And that's exactly what the reason why those were created. I'm not a lawyer, but I got a pretty damn good one. And I, again, would recommend dropping the case. But if you want to keep dancing because this gives you relevance, sure, keep doing that. But ultimately, all it does is expose who you are to everyone, even more than they already know.
And yeah, everything you do is just it has just hurt yourself. So I highly suggest, and this is a heart to heart.
Oh, and here's the other thing. If she was really feeling harassed by me, why would she start proactively attacking other people when I go to Game On Expo? Again, I feel like this showcases who she is to everybody.
Heart, real discussion that I think you should listen to. You just need to get off of social media. You need to stop doing all this bullshit because it hasn't helped you. It's only hurt you. You've hurt yourself. And the only thing you're out here for is revenge against, the ideologies that you happen to disagree with, whatever ideologies you see in your mind, right? And that's not going to help you. That's not going to improve your situation at all. You may get like 5 minutes of satisfaction with, getting your little following to attack me or whoever, but that's all it is. That doesn't benefit you in real life. That doesn't help you be financially stable. That doesn't help you be.
If she is using her lawyers as pro bono, which I don't know, it's not been confirmed, but I assume she is based off of her statements talking about how she doesn't have money or whatever, and has not done any kind of fundraising, to my knowledge, for paying for a lawsuit. Um, I I have been paying a substantial amount for my defense. So if it is pro bono on her side, her lawyers, while they might be doing pro bono, they'd be taking plenty of time out of their day. Where if it wasn't pro bono, they'd be making good money from someone else. So they're gonna be coming a point where these lawyers might be like, is this gonna be worth it for us to keep going with this situation? I would think. But then again, if her lawyers are crazy, which in my humble opinion, they kind of are, um, I I don't know the depths of the lengths that they would go.
Mentally, emotionally stable. You're just a sick bitch that's out for revenge with nothing that no gain from it other than just that. And you will continue to suffer because you can't get the fuck over it, because you refuse to move on.
I think it's like, again, my opinion. I I would not be surprised if Alyssa found herself in a mental asylum at some point in the future. That wouldn't shock me. It really wouldn't. In fact, I'm kind of surprised that we haven't gotten to that point, but maybe that's how this all works, is it takes longer for people to recognize, or something needs to lash out for people to be like, oh shit, there's a mental illness here that is clear, that is you can't ignore it. So maybe she hasn't gotten to that point yet, but everything that I've witnessed, that I've had to deal with her coming at me and my family and putting us in danger, those are not normal actions from somebody. And I have some sincere concerns about her. Hey, Cassie, shout out to you. Cassie is in the chat right now. Cassie, if you missed it, rewind it. I was giving you huge props earlier on. You can always watch the replay too, but this is a banger video by you.
Because you continue to bury, you continue to essentially just dig your own grave. You feel as though you're snake bit, which you are, but you can improve in this situation, but you refuse to move the fuck on. So that's not possible. So I highly suggest just moving on, finishing off whatever bullshit you got going on legally or whatever, and just letting it be what it is, because there's nothing you can do. You're trying so hard to evade accountability of your own actions. And I think that you should take your own advice. Like, yeah, free speech, doing what you want to do does not make you evade accountability. And you're trying to evade that, as much as you have, as much as the fuck shit that you've been doing. But that's not going to happen. Clearly, it hasn't happened. It's been over, a year now? Get the fuck over it. Like, there's no reason to go at me. I have no interest in engaging with you. Stop being a fucking spoiled brat. you dug your own grave. You made your bed. Fucking lay in it.
That was badass, Cassie. That was badass. Shout out to you. That was a banger video. I'm at the point where I'm like, I have nothing to add. That was perfect.